What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of the new Netflix original movie, Bad Trip. This, of course, is directed by Kitao Sakurai. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button and join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, as well as commenting below any video that you watch, including this one. So Bad Trip is in the same genre as something like a Bad Grandpa or, of course, Borat, where they take a story, they add in an actual movie-line story, but in essence, because of who they are, the actors themselves, they add in these sketch-type material where, for instance, they'll get real individual people and basically put them in scenarios that they're not actually realizing that they're in and kind of get a reaction or a shock-type situation. In the essence of Borat, he's dealing with the American culture of like the 2020s and 2019s, and then we get to Bad Grandpa, which is just jackass as a, Johnny Knoxville as an old man doing crazy stuff. And so when it comes to a movie like Bad Trip, it actually falls in line with Bad Grandpa, where it's taking shock value and shock moments and it's seeing how far they can push it to the level of how humans can deal with uncomfortable situations. And if you know anything about Eric Andre, who's the main star, as well as Lil Ray Howery, Eric Andre is known for doing very insane, very just like meta commentary, meta comedy. He's known for doing just weird, odd stuff that has put some celebrities that he's interviewed into some really weird, off-putting type situations. So him to do a movie like this seems like a clear-cut winner and seems like a just 100% effective situation, because basically Eric Andre plays Clint, and he's basically been fired from most of his jobs, but he ends up running across somebody named, I think, Mel L or Maria L or something like that, who is somebody he was very attracted to in high school. Now, she invites him to go out to New York to visit, her art gallery, because she's a famous artist, stuff like that. And in essence, what the story is doing is taking him and his best friend, who's played by Lil Ray Howery, to go over to New York. But also, Lil Ray Howery's character, Bud, has a sister who's played by Tiffany Haddish, and she is a convict. She is very forceful in her nature, and she is basically escaped from jail. But the problem is the two main characters have stolen her car, so she goes on a quest to retrieve her car, and that's where the essence of the shock value sketches come in, because in essence, through most of the running gags through most of this movie is to see how far they can push people and to go to any extremes that, of course, Eric Andre is willing to go, as well as his director, Kitao Sakurai, who actually was his director on the Eric Andre show, are willing to go to see how far they can push people. And for the most part, they go there. They go pretty far. There is some really hard R content in this movie, some really graphic content in this movie that could make you squeamish very well. I mean, there's some stuff that Eric Andre does in this movie with Lil Ray Howery that just goes, okay, I guess I'm watching this for now. With every known manner of sexual content, every known manner of cursing, every known manner of violence that they can come up with without getting an NC-17 rating. So this is very much an Eric Andre show, but turned into a movie form, and adding Lil Ray Howery and Tiffany Haddish and some other actors who have done some other films and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just to kind of see how far they can push the real life population into doing crazy stunts and crazy things, to experiencing things that they may never see in their whole entire lifetime. And in essence, it's a movie that has shock content. It really is. It's as shocking as it can be without, like I said, pushing that NC-17 rating, which it probably actually got at some point. And so I really like Borat. I mean, I don't really go back and watch it very many times, because once the joke is worn out, it's kind of worn out and you get a little bored by it and so on and so forth. But Borat 2 was a pretty big surprise, because it actually took the material and actually matured it. Bad Grandpa, for the most part, was actually kind of the same way. It took a premise that was really shocky in a lot of ways, but actually had a little bit of heart in it. And so, with much dismay, I'm going to be fairly honest, I hated this movie. I think it was funny. I think it's one of the worst films I've seen this year. To have that happen for somebody I like, when it comes to Eric Andre and Lil Ray Howery, I didn't find anything they did in this movie even remotely funny. I didn't think it was even remotely shocking. It's bland, boring stuff. The stuff he did on his TV show was much more entertaining. And I just feel like they ran out of jokes, and they had too many shock moments, and they had too many setups and too many sketches. I mean, every 5 seconds there was a new sketch that that seem too unbelievable to be true. And what makes me say that is because there's a lot of people in this movie, a lot of supposed real people that seem like actors. They don't seem like real people. They don't seem like they're reacting to real situations because of how many locations they're being filmed in this movie. I mean, I swear to God, there's probably 25 different locations that they had to pay for to have this happen. And it just, I don't know, like when you have something like Borat or something like that, and you can do the story and have the shocking stuff and have it blend so well, because the shocking stuff is, there's not a lot of locations, but there's just enough to make it kind of funny and crazy, and you're like, oh my God, what am I watching? But here I'm like, these jokes are so juvenile and stupid that I just didn't laugh once. I really didn't. It was pretty depressing when I was watching this movie. I'm texting my friend who's a big Eric Andre fan as well as Lil Ray Howery, and he said the same thing. He's like, I watched this back when they accidentally released it, and he's like, I didn't laugh. I didn't find it funny. He's a guy that loves shock value. He's a guy that loves shock value more than I do, and that's a pretty hard thing to do when even people that love this type of content just don't find the stuff funny. I can go as far as you can without going into some really dark material and enjoy it. But here it doesn't work. The stuff with, like I said, with Tiffany Haddish and Lil Ray Howery just doesn't work. It's one note. The storyline of Eric Andre and his long lost love is bland, and it gets it disappears for a while, and then it comes back, and then the eventual conclusion is just like, oh, I saw that coming a mile away. And there's like another running joke with white chicks in this movie, and it's just, I don't know. I felt like there was so much potential with this movie, so much energy that could have been brought into this movie, and it just feels like a haphazardly done movie that just doesn't have anything fun or redeeming about it. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who wants to see this, so I won't get into actual jokes and sketches and stuff like that, but the sketches in here are poorly set up, and this movie feels like it's way too long, even for an hour and 27 minutes. So, but yeah, for something that's created by Eric Andre and is directed from the Eric Andre Show and Lil Ray Howery and Tiffany Haddish, it's not good. It's not good at all. So this is going to be in my top 10 worst of the year because it's just so bad. But yeah, I'm really disappointed. It's just not funny, not entertaining, and doesn't make me feel like having a good time while watching it. So it's unfortunate. A lot of people probably will enjoy this movie. They'll probably give me crap for it, but you know what? It is what it is. I didn't like the movie, so there you go. But that'll do it. That'll be my take on Bad Trip. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what's your favorite, movie of this genre. Do you like the Borats or the Bad Grandpas? Do you like Bad Trip? Have you seen Bad Trip? What do you think of it? But otherwise, let me know in the comments below. But if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like the video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.